Konnichiwa minasan, Gitsapalooza ni yokoso.
Hello everyone and welcome to Gitsapalooza. I finally, after almost 3 weeks, am getting a game in, thanks to Tyler. Say hi, Tyler.
Hi.
All right, and we have got one of the Adepticon missions we're going to try playing. This one is called Sifu's Art. And here's the mission right out of the rule book. Basically, you have 2 8-inch zones of control and 3 idols. Everything is very straightforward. It is what it is. Turn 2, you score the most scenario points. Turn 4, you score whomever has the most idols turned towards them. And then, so the most friendly objectives, to put that in the parlance. And then on turn 6, we go back to the most scenario points. And there's no resetting. So everything counts, so it matters. And you know, where those scenario points, they build up turn after turn after turn. So just because you're not scoring scenario points on turn 4 doesn't mean that you're not working to get them to count towards the final victory in turn 6. So anyway, this is our table. You can see I've got some of the cool rings. These are the Jumo rings from Mastercrafted Miniatures. They work really well with this little town table. For those of you who are just getting into Bushido and wondering about terrain, I love this is the new warehouse that I just put together, so it looks really cool, but it is a giant building. And things like giant buildings and giant trees are kind of a pain to play over. So with a building like this, I try to put it out of the way to one side or the other. You'll notice it closes off that avenue, that extreme avenue, but everything can still get through here. That's wide enough for a 50 mil base. So yeah, here we go. We both have obstructions. I've got to get across the cart. Tyler, because he doesn't have all of the move through cover like I do, we broke the cover up on his side of the table. When we put the final designs together for Adepticon, we will be cognizant of this kind of problem. So we will try to make sure that people with slower armies aren't unnecessarily walled off from the objective. So you can see we both have plenty of clear lanes. Tyler's just got to weave through the trees. I've got to get through the buildings and the fences and the cart. But there's plenty of clear lanes in both directions. So we should be pretty good. All right, I'm going to show you guys my Savage Wave army first. I'm the star of the army, of course, is this model, which you may have seen. I've posted about it a couple times. It's the giant bat, and then I fiddled with the rider to get him in a position that makes him look like he's kind of holding on to a tuft of hair on top of the bat's head, and he's leaning out on the wing so he can get a spear shot in. Unfortunately, he's not painted yet. I just built him yesterday. So, but I was really anxious to use him. So if you'll forgive me, I will field a half an unpainted model. So it's a bakemono list. It is just animals and bakemono. That's all there is to it. I have the dog pack. So I have the kaihei alpha and the kaihei. The alpha is really important to making the kaihei work. I do not take them without taking him. You can make 3 kaihei work. I think anything less than 3 is probably a waste of points. So, but I like to field the whole group. And again, because this list is animals and bakemono, of course, I field all the animals I can. So there's the 4 kaihei, and you will notice, for those of you doing tournament circuit, they are labeled in the back. So that when I'm looking at the card is also labeled ABCD, and thus my kaihei are labeled ABCD. So I can keep track of the wounds. There's the giant bat. You can take the bat without the rider, thus he's pinned on. So if I want to field the bat on its own, I can. The rider is just bakemono, but he's a spearman, so you get reach, and you also get the ability to manipulate objectives because you've got a human on there. It's sort of like the peasants on the bull. Basically, it's the same thing. You take an animal, you put a human on it, and then that animal can do what a human could do. Then I've got some of my favorite bakemono. I've got track. I've got trepang. And I've got Hiritsuna, the white ninja. So, and I have Darwin walking, my cat Darwin, walking all over the table. And I'm going to, well, we're done with that anyway. Okay, so, sorry, that's the cat. Just this is the third time we've removed him from the table. He just decided to sit.
You're not a terrain element. You
No,
can't be here.
he's like, I have been. I've been a terrain element in 40K. I have been. There you go. Don't go over there. Do not. We'll make a spot for you. Oh, that's what we'll do. We'll make a spot for him. Okay, sorry for interrupting the video to deal with the cat, but you know, sometimes you just got to do it. As far as extras, I had 7 points of extras. So I'm taking the totem pole, making use of an old Forge World Gretchen model that I just love for now. I will eventually put a real totem pole together, but for now this works. I've got a rice ball barricade. I've got sneak, which allows one of my bakemono to shadow walk, to use the shadow walk key feat, regardless of whether anybody can see me or not, which is kind of cool. And then I have the Thousand Eyes and the bakemono horde cards. I might be doing some summoning. I'm not really planning on it because this list doesn't really generate enough ki for the bakemono to summon on a regular basis, but you never know. Anyway, so that's my army. It's this is 100 rice, and it's got a healthy number of models. You know, it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 models. Plus, maybe I'll summon in 1 or 2, depending. And we have a brand new list that Tyler has put together, so I will be back in just a moment to talk about that list. All right, Tyler, why don't you tell us about your models? Tell us about your little warband here.
So I've got 100 rice of Prefecture Imperial themes. So I've got the Imperial March. I've got Yanjin, Ji, Yishi, Golden Sentinel, the Envoy Yukoi, and Mako. And then he's got an upgrade for Mesamune Blade. And then the Imperial theme allows me to give out 1 death sentence token that cannot be removed through key methods to an enemy model.
Nice. So, what gave you the idea for this army?
I bought the Sisters 2 years ago at Gen Con, and I need an excuse to paint them. So with the 2nd edition coming out, I found motivation. And I got lucky, and this is 100 rice exactly. So.
All right. Looks fantastic. I can't wait to play it. Thank you, Tyler. All right, here we are, folks. We are at the end of deployment. I won the deployment role, designated myself as player 1, and as player 1 was able to dictate who deployed first, I asked Tyler to go first. So he's deployed his army, his warband, and they're just kind of strung along the line in the back. He's using the coins as the activation tokens, right?
Yep.
All right. And then he's using dice to keep track of his key. And then I am using these really cool little markers from Mastercrafted Miniatures as my activation markers. And as you can see, I just kind of spread out. It's definitely an advantage to keep the dogs together. And then I just put the bakemono on the right flank. And then all of my ki, of course the animals don't generate ki, but the bakemono do. And that ends up as a pile over there that I can use to summon in new bakemono. There's a whole bunch of things I can use it for. There's the bakemono horde card right there. So that's it. And this scenario is score early and score often. Oh, and I did put, there's my rice bale barricade over there blocking off that avenue without going through difficult or destroying it. I could have put it in the middle and screwed up the whole thing, but I just didn't feel like doing that. It's not fair. Tyler's learning a new army. So, and then there's my totem pole, the little grot, so he's generating a couple extra ki for me every turn. So I definitely appreciate that. So there we go. So Tyler and I are now going to do the tactical test for the first turn. So Tyler, why don't you grab a die? Let's roll. I get a 2. Tyler gets a 4. Tyler, you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You to go first.
All right, I will be going first. Here we are at the end of turn 1. Neither Tyler nor I are being subtle. We just both threw everything into the middle. So he's got, I managed to just barely outpoint him on this zone of control. So I got 2 scenario points over here. And then he's uncontested with one of the sisters at the central objective. And I do have the alpha over there who can turn that objective. And I've got the bat with the rider over here who can turn this objective. However, I'm facing the other 2 sisters and the Imperial guy with a bunch of bakemono. So this may not go well. We'll see. Anyway, so this is the end of turn 1. I am up 2 scenario points to none. However, who knows what's going to happen over the course of the next turn. All right, everyone, here we are at the end of turn 2, and believe it or not, the end of the game. We're just calling it because we're both playing armies we're not familiar with. So it took us an inordinate amount of time to get the first 2 turns in. However, it was brutal. I lost my alpha, got critical strike attack by Uncle Iro there. But other than that, the dogs just ripped things apart. And that was even without the alpha. The dogs just ganged up on the sister that was over here. Which one was she, Tyler?
I don't remember. One of them.
One of them. Anyway, she got the one with the 2 swords got ripped apart by the dogs here. And then the dogs jumped over to the Golden Sentinel and ripped him apart. And then the stray dog wandered over to help take down one of the other sisters. And then bravely, the Imperial dude walked over and attacked the giant bat, and nothing bad happened to him. But at this point, I'm just outnumbering Tyler by so much that it wouldn't be a fun game at this point. It'd just be beating up on him. Iro is a real pain in the tuchus, though. So while I'm not worried about the end result of the game, Iro could just spend the rest of the game killing a model one after another with all of his tricks and his critical strike attack, But by and large, it was, I was just mentioning to Tyler, especially with Savage Wave, I don't play them like I think you're supposed to play Bushido. I play Savage Wave kind of like I play chess, which isn't good, but I just kind of pick targets for destruction and I go after them. And it's not that I don't think tactically at all, but I am kind of more of a kill it and let God sort it out kind of a guy when I play Bushido. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Today it worked because luckily for me, the sisters were soft enough targets that when I got to them, they couldn't take much of a pounding. But, you know, a really good tactical player, I'm sure would have a field day with me. But for the most part, I just take my guys and throw them at stuff and, you know, figure, all right, if he starts with six models, if I can get him down to 4, then maybe I can have my way with him. So, but anyway, it's just a goofy way I play. I know it's not the right way to play, but you know what? It's what goes through my head when I start moving models around. So feel free to flame me for A, wasting your time on a 2-turn game, and B, not playing this game properly. I'm okay with that. It was cool to see Tyler's new army, though. It's beautifully painted. He's done non-metallic metal effects, and I mean, I zoomed in on some of the models. Tyler is an excellent painter. Wow, look at the work on the face. Look at how the colors come out. Just beautiful. So, I may have won today, but Tyler won the painting competition, hands down. Look at Uncle Iro. Mako, sorry. So, anyway, Tyler, thanks. You got any parting words of disgust to let the people know? No, just shaking his head in shame and disgust. But he didn't play badly at all. It's just
killing 2 sisters and my golden sentinel.
Yeah.
And that was just from the dogs. The dogs killed those. So.
Well, actually, didn't Track killed the last sister? The dog was there to help out, though.
The dog exhausted her.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here.
Yep.
The dogs were the VIP.
Yeah, the dogs are the VIP, as they often are. They're really good as a group. They are scary.
Yep.
So, luckily, I didn't lose my alpha until after the dogs had done their work, because once the alpha dies, you lose group activation, which is a big part of what makes the dogs so frightening. So, if you're out there and you're worried about the dogs, kill that alpha as soon as you can. It's the key to making them work. So, there you go. I guess that's it. Thank you, Tyler, once again. It was, after 3 weeks, it was nice to get a game in, and I loved your new army. He was teasing me with it while we were doing the setup. He wouldn't show me any of the figures, so I didn't have any idea what he was playing. And they were beautiful models, and I think with a little bit of tweaking, he'll get it sorted. So I think he's pretty close, actually. That's it. Well, thank you, guys. I know everybody is waiting for me to come out with the Adepticon scenario review, and this is kind of serving in that purpose. This is one of those scenarios. So I don't know if you learned anything from this video, but I will be going over them all in detail in the next couple of days. So you should be all set. You guys take care. Thanks for hanging out with us. Please remember to bring your rulebooks to Adepticon, because if you ask me to solve a problem for you, the very first thing I'm going to ask is, did you look in the rulebook? And the very second thing I'm going to ask is, hand me the rulebook. So save yourself some time and make sure you bring those books and share them with your opponent if he doesn't have one, so that you guys can get through your games as quickly and efficiently as possible. And you'll have more fun that way. All right, see you guys. Thank you for joining us once again on Gitsapalooza.